Hello, Andy. Good afternoon.
Hi, teacher. Good afternoon. Sorry.
No, don't worry about it. Okay. So what we're going to do today, were you able to do the assignment?
Yeah, teacher.
Okay, perfect. So those are auto-graded. That means that you probably saw your score at the end after you submitted your assignment, right? Did you see that?
Yeah, I can see the scores for each section.
Okay, good, because I actually wanted to talk to you about that, about your grades. The way that we're going to be evaluating you is, I'm going to show you. Okay. Okay, so basically this is how we're going to be evaluating your grades. For this program, I think you're supposed to have above a certain score. I'm not sure if it's 85 or 90. I don't know. Do you remember? Did they tell you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're supposed to have above a certain grade. I believe it's between 85 or 90 in order to keep the guarantee. And if not, you're supposed to take some extra hours to, if you need so, to catch up with whatever we're doing. And we're currently in A7. This is wrong, actually. It's A7, A8, A9, and A10, if I'm not mistaken. And basically, you will have one grade for your assignments, which is going to be 30% of your final grade for the A7 program. You will have another grade, which is going to be your final quiz, one only quiz, that's going to be 30% of your grade. Well, actually, it's just going to be assignments in your final quiz. We won't be having quizzes every class because it doesn't allow us the time to do that. But your assignments is going to be then probably 50-50 we're going to make. And your assignments are going to be what you did, for example. So the assignment that you had, your grade is going to be counting for A1, which is the first module or the first unit of A7. And then the next assignment that you do will be the second unit, then the third unit, and we're going to be basing the content mostly on the platform on Pearson, but we're going to be also using extra material more related to the topic.
Okay.
Great, and your final test will be at least 40% of your grade. It will be still in the same platform in Pearson. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We will be taking the test on the 8th class. So today is our third class, isn't it?
Third.
Our third class. So on our 8th class, we're supposed to finish this first module, and that's when we're going to be taking the final quiz.
Okay.
Letting you know some days ahead. All right then. So let's see what we have in the book. Okay. So according to our book, what we should be seeing next in our next unit is the present perfect. In Unit 2, the grammar that we have programmed for this unit is the present perfect, modal verbs, and the future with will and with going to. We're going to be focusing more in the present tense and the future because that's exactly what you will need for the TOEFL test, especially the future. There will be some questions that require an understanding of the present perfect and the future tense.
Okay.
So let's start with watching a short video, and answering some questions as a warm-up. Okay. So just pay attention, don't take any notes.
Someone sent us this file. This is incredible.
Incredible?
Have you ever heard of Nick Crawford, the soccer player? He's the star forward on our national team.
Of course, everyone's heard of him. I think.
Well, here, look at this.
What is that?
This is an audio file. It's a recorded conversation between Nick and some businesswoman about a month ago.
So?
Well, Nick Crawford talks business with her. He talks about how he needs money.
You know, there's a rumor that he's fallen into debt lately. I've heard all sorts of gossip about that.
Yes, that may or may not be true. But here's where it gets interesting. During the conversation, the woman offers him $100,000.
What for?
She offers him $100,000 to sit out the first round qualifying match. That's the game where he had an injury and couldn't play.
Ouch, I remember. And we lost that match. If we lose again, we might be eliminated.
Exactly. This is a big deal in the sports world. The next qualifying round's coming up, and if this recording is the real deal, Nick Crawford will be history.
You mean he won't get to play in the next match?
Exactly. And without him, we'll probably lose again.
Okay. So, what did you see in the video? What is going on?
He's talking about a player soccer. I think the player is little famous. And in the audio is like a conversation between he and other woman because the player is injured, I guess. And she is offering him $100 million, I guess. Yeah, this.
Okay, exactly. So in that company, they are talking about this recording of this soccer player talking to this businesswoman, and she's offering him a large amount of money. Now, what does he have to do to get that money? Did you understand that part?
No, I don't.
Okay, let's see. Let's play it again. What is the deal? Try to find out what the deal is between the woman and the soccer player according to this recording.
During the conversation, the woman offers him $100,000.
What for?
She offers him $100,000 to sit out the first round qualifying match. That's the game where he had an injury and couldn't play.
Ouch, I remember. And we lost that match. If we lose again, we might be eliminated.
Exactly. This is a big deal in the sports world. The next qualifying round's coming up, and if this recording is the real deal, Nick Crawford will be history.
You mean he won't get to play in the next match?
Exactly. And without him, we'll probably lose again.
Okay. So what was the deal between the woman and the soccer player?
Okay, and the woman pay him for pretend like a injured in the playing, and the team will be eliminated again.
Exactly. The woman pays him or paid him in the past to sit, right? To not play or to pretend to be injured, as you said, and in the first qualifying round, and they lost the game. And now if he doesn't play again in the next qualifying round, they say that they're also going to lose. Right, so let's see some vocabulary.
Yes, that may or may not be true. But here's where it gets interesting. During the conversation, the woman offers him $100,000.
What for?
She offers him $100,000 to sit out the first round qualifying match. That's
Say to sit out the first round qualifying match. Sit out es sentarse, es quedarse fuera, ¿no? Quedarse fuera del juego, to sit out, la banca.
round qualifying match. That's the game where he had an injury and couldn't play.
Ouch, I remember. And we lost that match. If we lose again, we might be eliminated.
Exactly. This is a big deal in the sports world. The next qualifying round's coming up, and if this recording is the real deal, Nick Crawford will be history.
You mean he won't get to play in the next match?
Exactly. And without him, we'll probably lose again.
Okay. So let's answer some questions. The first one says, who's Nick Crawford?
Soccer player.
Soccer player, and what does the woman do?
She offers Nick money.
She offers Nick money. What happened in the game last year?
Nick Crawford wouldn't play in the game.
Exactly. He couldn't play in the game because he was supposedly injured. And what does Tony believe about the national soccer team?
They need Nick Crawford in order to win.
Exactly. They need him in order to win because at the end he says, and if he doesn't play, then we might lose again. Without him, we might lose again. Exactly. So, yes. Great. Hold on. Okay. So now we're going to start seeing the present perfect tense. Let's first see what we have here for the grammar part. It's an interesting tense. So basically, in English, we have different ways to talk about the past. One of them is the simple past that I'm pretty sure that you already know how to use. So the simple past, el pasado simple. For example, I can say, last night I watched a movie with my friend. Last night I watched a movie with my friend. That's one way of talking about the past. Now, when do we use the simple past? When we talk about things that happen in a specific point in time in the past. So last night I watched a movie. I'm talking about a specific time, last night, and when it's a completed event. So it already happened. I'm not watching the movie anymore. It's something completed in the past. I watched the movie and it ended there. So that's when we use the simple past. But we also have to have other ways of referring to the past when we have to talk about different things. And then is where we have the present perfect. For example, Talia says, have you listened to the recording? And Tony says, yes, John and I have both listened to it. We use the present perfect to talk about something that happened at some time in the past, but not at any particular time. So in this case, for example, Talia is not talking about one specific time. She doesn't want to know when they have listened to the recording. She just wants to know if they have listened to the recording without specifying the time when this happened. It's not like, did you listen to this recording today? Did you listen to this recording this morning? If we specify the time, then we cannot use the present perfect. Now, this is called the indefinite past because we don't give an exact time. We don't know exactly when this happened because it's not important, or we don't know. So Talia, in this case, isn't interested in knowing when Tony listened to the recording. She only wants to know if he has heard the recording. So the interest is in the action rather than the time. Okay. So that's one of the uses. We're going to see this with some context. We're going to do it here. See? Okay. Okay, so these are some uses of the present perfect. For example, when we talk about actions that have just happened, actions that we finished just now, like some seconds or minutes ago, then we can use the present perfect. For example, in this case, if Mark just finished having lunch, we can say he has just had lunch. He has just had lunch. We're using the time expression just, which means acaba de. He has just had lunch. So we can use the present perfect when we talk about actions that just finished a minute ago or like some seconds ago, things that just happened. So he has just finished lunch. Now, this is probably the most common use of the present perfect, and this is the first one that you have to learn. We use the present perfect when we talk about an action that started in the past, but that continues until today, or that maybe is likely to continue in the future. So, for example, in this case, this is a family, and this family bought a house in 2000. Okay, so they are here 23 years ago, they bought this house, 2000. So they bought the house in 2000. Now, if they are living there today, they can say, we have lived in this house for 23 years. Hemos vivido en esta casa por 23 años. We are using the present perfect, we have lived, because we are still living there. Todavía estamos viviendo ahí. Like, I can give you another example. In my case, for example, I can say, I have lived in Bolivia for 20 years. He vivido en Bolivia por 20 años. I have lived in Bolivia for 20 years. That's one idea. What does that mean? ¿Qué significa? Que 20 años atrás empecé a vivir en Bolivia y han pasado 20 años y hasta el día de hoy sigo viviendo en Bolivia y probablemente continúe viviendo en Bolivia por un tiempo más. En cambio, si digo, I lived in Bolivia for 20 years, viví en Bolivia por 20 años, ese, como ya es simple past, estamos dando el hecho, el evento por terminado. Es como si ya hubiese concluido. Yo viví en Bolivia 20 años, hace mucho tiempo o hace un tiempo, pero actualmente no estoy viviendo en Bolivia. I lived in Bolivia for 20 years, but I'm not living there anymore. That is the difference. That is the main difference between the simple past and the present perfect. We use the present perfect for an action that started in the past and that hasn't finished yet. While we use for the simple past to talk about finished events. El simple past es para eventos que ya han sido completados. Y además se utiliza mucho el present perfect when we have expressions like for, para hablar la duración del tiempo, y since, para hablar desde cuándo pasa. I have lived in Bolivia for 20 years. I have lived in Bolivia since 2003, let's say. So we can use these time expressions, but that is usually the main use. Este es el uso principal del presente perfecto. Una acción que empezó en el pasado y que ha pasado durante todo este tiempo hasta el día de hoy. Okay? ¿Se entiende hasta ahí? Do you have any questions so far?
No, teacher. Maybe for she and he is has, not have.
Exactly. We're going to see the grammar. Yes, but
Okay.
yes, you're for she and has. Another use of the present perfect is when we talk about experiences in general, experiences that we have or we haven't lived. So for example, if you want to, I don't know if you've ever played that game or heard of that game, el juego Yo Nunca Nunca, donde uno dice, yo nunca nunca me he subido a un avión, yo nunca nunca, no sé, he practicado parapente. Entonces, en ese juego uno habla de experiencias, ¿no? Cosas que ha hecho o que no ha hecho, que ha experimentado y que no ha experimentado. Lo mismo en inglés, ese juego se traduce como never have I ever, en inglés, never have I ever, y ese es el presente perfecto, have I ever, I have ever, ¿no? Presente perfecto. Entonces, se utiliza mucho el presente perfecto para hablar de experiencias. He has flown a plane before, but he has never tried bungee jumping. Él ha vivido la experiencia de volar un avión, pero nunca ha experimentado bungee jumping. Have you ever traveled by plane? Y también para preguntar si alguien ha hecho o alguna vez ha realizado alguna acción, ¿no? Have you ever traveled by plane? Have you ever, I don't know, driven a car? Have you ever driven a motorcycle? Have you ever lost your wallet? Have you ever been robbed? Have you ever been outside of Bolivia? I don't know. ¿No? Entonces, we use it to talk about experiences. And sometimes expressions we can use with these experiences maybe ever, para preguntas. Have you ever done this or done that? And never when we have never done something, cuando no hemos hecho algo. Okay, ese es otro uso del present perfect.
Okay.
Okay. Ahora, y bueno, esto es lo que ya teníamos en el libro. For an action that happened in a specified time. We don't care about the time. It doesn't matter. What matters is the action. Por ejemplo, the children have tidied the room. Han limpiado su habitación. No importa cuándo, perdón, lo importante es la acción. I have been robbed. Me robaron, he sido robado. No importa cuándo, lo importante es la acción. Enfatizamos en la acción en vez de en el tiempo. En cambio, el simple past usualmente viene acompañado de una cláusula de tiempo. They have, or let's say, they cleaned their room this morning. ¿No? Es un evento terminado que no tiene tanta relación con el presente. Those are some of the uses of the present perfect. Only some of them, but we're going to see more of them. Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
Any questions about that? Okay, so now about the grammar part, how do we form the present perfect? Pretty easy. We have to understand that in order to form the present perfect, we're going to be using the verb have. Vamos a utilizar el verbo have. Pero ya no lo vamos a utilizar como el verbo que conocemos, tener. Ya no es el verbo tener de poseer algo, sino que se convierte en un auxiliar. It becomes an auxiliary verb. ¿Qué significa que sea un auxiliar? Que en realidad no es el verbo principal, sino que le ayuda al verbo principal en una oración. No es el verbo principal, no tiene la idea principal, pero le ayuda a ese verbo. For example, I can say, I have worked, he has worked. So, what do we use? We use the auxiliary have. And then we need to use the past participle form of the main verb. El participio del verbo principal. Remember that when we're learning verbs, we always learn three, right? We learn the present tense, the basic form, we learn the past tense of the verb, and we learn the participle form of the verb. For example, work, worked, worked. Es un verbo regular, no cambia. Work, work, worked. Pero, por ejemplo, en el verbo write, wrote, read. ¿No? Presente, pasado y participio. Entonces, ahora necesitamos la tercera forma del verbo, el participio. Eso es probablemente lo que más les cuesta a los estudiantes, porque es cuestión de aprenderse las palabras y vocabulario. Pero esa es la forma. Es decir, si quisiéramos crear una fórmula, sería, we're going to write it down, para las afirmativas, el sujeto, the subject of our sentence. Then we have the auxiliary verb, que podría ser have o podría ser has, como tú dijiste, dependiendo de la persona. Y después necesitamos the participle form. So subject, auxiliary, and participle form. That's how we form the affirmative sentences in the present perfect. Por ejemplo, I have worked, I have written. Ahora, el verbo have se conjuga como has, o el auxiliar se conjuga como has, de igual manera que lo hacemos en el presente cuando hablamos del verbo tener. ¿No? Ella tiene es she has. Él tiene he has. ¿No? Entonces, si es tercera persona singular, es decir, si es una persona o una cosa ajena a nuestra conversación, pero es una sola, the marker, the lighter, let's say, the lighter, something es una cosa que está fuera de nuestra conversación. Las dos estamos hablando de una cosa extra, singular, ¿no? Siempre que sea singular, o una persona extra. He, she, or it. It has worked, she has worked, he has worked. Sujeto, auxiliar, have o has, dependiendo de la persona, y el participio, el verbo. Worked, written, seen, been, gotten, driven, read, dependiendo de qué verbo. ¿No? Is it okay so far?
Yeah, teacher.
Very good. And let's also see the negative form. Ahora, ¿qué pasa con la negativa? Es muy parecido, muy fácil, simplemente se le añade el not después del auxiliar. Es decir, I have not worked, I have not written, he has not worked. ¿No? Se le añade el not. Ahora también se lo puede contraer y en vez de decir have not, puedo decir haven't, o en vez de decir has not, puedo decir hasn't. It hasn't written, it hasn't worked. Has not equivale a hasn't, have not equivale a haven't. ¿Ok?
Okay.
Por ahora vemos hasta ahí. Luego vamos a practicar preguntas en general. Any questions so far?
No, no teacher. It's clear.
Perfect. So we're going to watch another video and now I want you to take notes. No necesitas tomar un montón de notas, las keywords, the things that you consider important. Okay?
The U.S. government has released 3 declassified videos of unexplained objects flying in the air. These videos were already leaked in 2007 and 2017. 2 of them were published by the New York Times newspaper, and the 3rd video was leaked by an organization called To the Stars Academy of Arts and Sciences. When they were leaked, many people claimed the videos showed alien unidentified flying objects, or UFOs. According to the New York Times, the first video was filmed in 2004 by 2 fighter pilots flying over the Pacific Ocean. It shows a round object moving above the water. The other videos were filmed in 2015 and show objects moving through the air. One of the objects was spinning.
Dude, this is a fucking drone, bro. There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots.
The U.S. Department of Defense says that it officially released the videos to show that the footage was real. The objects in the videos remain classified as unidentified. People around the world have been fascinated with the idea of UFOs since 1947, when a farmer discovered parts of a flying disc at Roswell in the state of New Mexico. This object is now believed to be part of a secret balloon designed to monitor the Soviet Union. 10 years later, a place known as Area 51 in Nevada became the center of UFO research according to rumors. There have been a lot of theories about the place, but in 2017, the U.S. Department of Defense finally admitted that it had been studying UFO sightings.
Okay, so this is a news reporter. How can you summarize the video? What are the news?
He talks about 3 videos about aliens, and the first video have like an article in New York Times. It says that pilots take a video and it seems like aliens in the air, and the second video it's like an object of moving in the air, maybe with some water, and its video is confirming that it was a real. And that one he's talking is in some place in Mexico. Yeah, that's.
Okay, good. So yeah, they talk about 3 videos that have been released by the US government recently, but some of them were already leaked, right? They were already seen by people, and they talk about Area 51 as well. What do they say about Area 51?
Is the first video?
No, Area 51 is a place where they study UFOs.
Oh, this place is in Mexico, I guess. And this
In Nevada, in the US. You know, okay. Okay, so let's see some vocabulary based on that video, and then we jump into the grammar. So it says match the words or phrases with their meanings. What do you think the classified is?
G.
G, stories that might be true or not, which is spread from person to person. No. The classified is the opposite of classified.
Or maybe E.
The officially exact. Because classified means secret, right? Like classified information is information that needs to remain secret, needs to remain hidden. So declassified is when something is officially no longer a secret. Now, what is to leak something? This is a verb, an action. What does it mean when you leak something or when something is leaked?
A.
Are you sure?
Or maybe B.
No, for example, in this case, they say that these videos were leaked before the US government actually released them.
H maybe.
Exactly. To leak means filtrar información, no, filtrar algo. So it means to privately give out information that not necessarily the government, not necessarily the gobierno, but that somebody doesn't want people to know. When you leak something, filtras algo privado, ¿no? Algo que no deberías. What is a fighter pilot?
F.
F, exactly. Somebody who flies a type of military plane. It's like a pilot, but for the military. What is footage?
A.
Exactly. It's like, es como un metraje, no? It's a video, a film or a video that shows an event, un video. Por ejemplo, security footage. Las cámaras de seguridad graban security footage, ¿no? Esos son los videos de seguridad. Unidentified. What is unidentified?
G.
Stories that might be true or not, you sure?
Or maybe C.
Not from this planet. I don't know, you sure? Unidentified is the opposite of identified.
D.
Exactly. And es unidentified es lo mismo que unknown, ¿no? Desconocido, unidentified, not known. What is an alien?
C.
See, exactly, not from this planet. So alien is anything that's not from here. Rumors, what are rumors?
G.
Stories that may or may not be true, but that are spread, que son expandidas from person to person. What are sightings?
B.
Exactly. So these are like avistamientos, moments when people see something that is rare or secret or unusual or something that's not known, right, and identified out. Exactly. Okay. So it says study these sentences from the report and match the underlying structures to their uses. We have sentences 1 to 4. Okay, it's to, sorry. Okay, so we have sentences 1 to 4, and we have options A to D. We have to match these sentences with the with the explanation of those sentences. So for example, the first sentence, can you please read the first sentence?
Yes. And the US government has released 3 declassified videos of unexplained objects flying in the air.
Exactly. Has released 3 declassified.
Okay.
Can you say that again, please? Has released 3 declassified.
Has released 3 declassified.
Okay. Now, what do you think that is? A, B, C, or D?
B.
B, we use the present perfect simple in those reports. Exactly. Yes. So another use of the present perfect is when we talk about new, when we talk about things that are new, noticias, or when we talk about changes, cuando hablamos de cambios, cosas que es información nueva. The US government has released. Y además que son cosas recientes, recientemente ha pasado. The US government has released. For example, if every day you see me with my hair long, siempre me ves con mi pelo largo, and tomorrow you don't see me with my hair long, and I say, hey, I have cut my hair. I have cut my hair. Why am I using the present perfect? Because it's news, it's something new, new information, and it's a change. So when we report news, when we talk about recent events, eventos recientes que son noticia, y además que no es un tiempo específico, ¿verdad? No sabemos cuándo. We don't know when, and we don't care about when. When has the government released this? We don't care. We just care about the action in the news. So to talk about news reports, to talk about new information. What about the second one? Could you please read the second sentence?
People around the world have been fascinated with the idea of UFOs since 1947.
Exactly. UFOs, unidentified flying objects. So, what is that?
A.
Exactly. Great. So we often use the present perfect to talk with the word since to talk about a situation that started at a specific time in the past and continues to now. In this case, people around the world have been fascinated with the idea of UFOs since 1947. That means that people started to be fascinated at that time. La gente empezó a estar fascinadas en 1947. Y desde ese momento hasta ahora, en tiempo progresivo, ha ido pasando. Continúan siendo fascinados hasta hoy y probablemente en el futuro. So all of this time, people have been fascinated with the idea of UFOs. Right? It started in the past, but it continued until now, and it's probably going to continue forward. And we use since to say desde cuándo. ¿Cuándo empezó? Y todo esto continúa. No es un evento completado en el pasado. No es que han sido fascinados un momento y luego ya no. It's something that continues until today. Right? So since, desde. I have lived here in Bolivia since 2025. Well, since 2015. Entonces, desde. What about the third question? Could you please read the third question?
10 years later, a place known as Area 51 in Nevada became the center of UFO research. D.
D, exactly. Great. So that is the simple past. And that is the simple past. Okay. So we use the simple past when we talk about a completed event in the past. Ha sido completado, solo pasó una vez y ya. Y también es un tiempo específico, ¿no? 10 years later, 10 años después. Específicamente en este tiempo it became the center of UFO research. And finally, there have been a lot of theories about the place. It has to be option C. There have been a lot of theories. We use the present perfect simple to talk about something that happened at multiple and specified times in the past. And it's not impossible that the event will happen again in the future. Otro uso muy común, cuando algo pasó muchas veces en el pasado. Por ejemplo, I have been to Spain 3 times in the past. ¿No? He viajado 3 veces, multiple times. And probably I will travel again. That's a possibility, right? I have seen this movie 5 times. He visto esta película 5 veces. So it's something that happened multiple times in the past and that can likely happen again in the future. Right? That's another use of the present perfect. Son unspecified. ¿No? Son eventos que no pasaron en un tiempo específico. Is that okay so far? Do you have any questions about that?
No, not.
Okay, great. So what we're going to do now is, okay. So we have to use the correct form of the verb. It could be simple past or it could be present perfect in this exercise. What about the first one? It says breaking news. The US government
has admitted.
Has admitted. Why? Because we're talking about news. Estamos hablando de noticias recientes. Has admitted. What about the next one? Joey?
Joey hasn't had a decent meal.
Exactly. Hasn't have? Así? You sure?
Hasn't, I don't know, haven't, has. I guess.
No. Es Joey, en tercera persona singular, muy bien con has, hasn't, el auxiliar, pero el verbo tiene que estar en su forma.
Yeah. Had.
Exacto, forma del participio. Have. Joey hasn't had a decent meal since he lost his job last month. Entonces, ¿desde qué? Desde ese momento hasta ahora continúa pasando. Desde.
Okay. So it doesn't matter if has is negative, the verb is participle.
No importa, siempre está en su forma participio.
Okay.
Tiene razón esa parte porque es verdad que, por ejemplo, en el presente, o bueno, en el pasado simple, decimos Joey didn't have, ¿verdad? Como el auxiliar ya está en pasado, entonces ya el verbo lo ponemos en presente, en la forma básica. Pero aquí no, aquí siempre es el verbo en participio, no importa si es negativo, si es pregunta, si es afirmativo o si está contraído, siempre es pasado, participio, perdón. Okay, the third one says, last month, Great Britain's captain wore over 16 million. ¿Qué sería?
I don't know if maybe Captain Moore has raised it or just raised it.
I don't know, think about it.
Yeah, I guess it's just raised.
It's just raised. Can you tell me why?
Because it's like a action in the past and it's no going today.
Exactly. It's not happening right now. It's a completed event in the past, and it's also about a specific time, last month, no? Específicos. We are specifying when. Si especificamos cuándo, es un evento completado en ese momento y ya. Raised. Muy bien. Number 4.
There have been.
Okay.
But Have been.
Yes, perfect. There have been lots of UFO sightings. Es algo que ha pasado en el pasado, pero muchas veces, y probablemente siga pasando. There have been lots of UFO sightings. Han habido más de uno, ¿no? Si hubiese sido solo uno con un tiempo específico, sería simple past. Pero como son varios, entonces, a few of them have been confirmed. Nos importa más la acción que el tiempo de cuándo. What about 5?
What did the government know?
What did the government know? Muy bien. Past simple because it's a specific time, 1947, es un tiempo específico. Y la gramática estuvo súper bien. What did the government know? Muy bien. Next one says, the organization that.
The organization that has, I don't know what is the participle of leak.
Leak es regular, entonces leaked. Example, the organization that has leaked the videos is called to the Stars Academy of Arts and Sciences. Now, 7 says, scientists
Have discovered a cure of cancer for cancer.
It's a change, it's news, son noticias, es un cambio reciente. Incluso podríamos poner have just, acaban de, ¿no? Have just discovered. Está muy bien. Next one says scientist. Okay, sorry. Number 8.
Have you changed your lifestyle?
Ok, sí. Muy bien. Esta es una pregunta, está muy bien el orden. Exactamente esto se hace en las preguntas. Primero va el auxiliar, have o has, dependiendo del sujeto, ¿no? En este caso, si pusiste you, está muy bien, have you. Have you changed your lifestyle? ¿Has cambiado tu estilo de vida? Está muy bien. Pero si quisiéramos hablar del lifestyle como el sujeto, ¿ha cambiado tu estilo de vida? Sin incluirte aquí, podría ser has your lifestyle changed? O también funcionaría. ¿Ha cambiado tu estilo de vida? O tú has cambiado tu estilo de vida. Ambos funcionan. Está muy bien. Okay. So, is this okay? Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, great. So we're going to continue seeing the present perfect. Todavía tenemos que practicar más ejemplos. Pero por el momento sí te voy a asignar una tarea pequeña, corta, de lo que vimos. El presente perfecto y tal vez algo de listo.
Okay.
Okay, for tomorrow. Is that okay? Do you have any questions before we go?
No, I completely understand the structure, but I guess I have some problems with the verbs, like everyone. Maybe if you can send me like a list of the irregular verbs.
Yes, I'm going to do that actually. I'm going to post it in the classroom, and tomorrow we're going to be seeing some of the most common verbs. The good thing about this is that we don't usually use the present perfect too much, so there's just a couple of verbs that are the most used. We're going to be seeing some of them.
Okay.
But yes, I will give you the material as well. And please, before you go, don't forget today's daily survey. We will be seeing you tomorrow.
Okay. Okay. See you tomorrow. Thank you.